connecting Indigenous musicians and artists to the world. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars with your host, Rhonda Head.
Hello, everyone. I'm back after a 2-week break. I actually had a cracked tooth, so I had to go get that looked after, and I went to the dentist, and then he ended up giving me some antibiotics, and then I got an allergic reaction to it, so I had to take a break the first week, and then the second week I went and got my root. I had to get a root canal done, and that was a little bit. It hurt, so I had to take a 2-week break, and I'm healed now, but I still have to go get a crown put in. So, but I was able to do the show tonight and welcome you and welcome a friend that I had on the show earlier. And tonight is my 66th show. So welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in every week. And I'm really happy to say that the shows are being streamed live on my YouTube channel, on Twitter, and on the group page, and on my personal page. And I also want to thank Safe at Home Manitoba for sponsoring me. They were giving out grants in Manitoba to different organizations and art organizations, and they allowed me to get some new equipment that I needed to run this show and to keep paying for my podcast and internet that I have to use. So it really helped me out a lot with the show, and also supporting the artists that I interview, and for people to stay home during COVID. And the numbers are going down slowly around the world, but we still need to be diligent by staying safe, wearing our mask, and sanitize and social distance. So I want to thank Safe at Home Manitoba for providing me with a grant. So thank you so much. And Raquel She says hello from Long Lake First Nation. Hi, welcome to the show. And Belinda Vandenbroek, she's my relative. So wonderful endeavor to showcase our artists, and she says good work. Thank you for tuning in. And Rochelle says she's watching from Swan Lake. So welcome to the show. And I just want to say happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women around the world. And I just have some exciting news that we Manitoba Music did a show tonight and showcased a bunch of awesome, talented artists, from beautiful female artists, Indigenous artists from right across Manitoba, and I was lucky to be part of the show. So I'm going to give them a shout out tonight. Manitoba Music, Jade Harper and Shanine Robinson, thank you so much. And Veronica Sayes, thank you so much for allowing us to perform our music and sharing it with the beautiful women across Manitoba. I also want to give a shout out to Tracy Crandall from the Kikiwak. She's one of the most friendliest waitress you can ever come across. And if you ever go to eat at the Kikiwak, and I know Delbert and Lucero, sorry, I forgot your first name, but we'll get it later. But they were both at Kikiwak, and I'm sure Tracy served them too. So I want to give a big shout out to Tracy. And my other awesome, exciting news that I have is I'm one of the 100 women from across Canada that's part of the Universal Women Network, and it's called what we're doing is we're being showcased right across Canada, and we're also building up towards a book that we're going to be releasing in September. So all of the 100 women that are involved in the project all wrote stuff about themselves and how they are in their careers, and sharing their successes. So that's going to come out in September. Meanwhile, there's 3 trucks with all our portraits on the side of the truck, and I was listening to the show earlier because I missed it, and the company, the owner of the truck company, said that one of the trucks alone will get 16 million views from across Canada, and I believe they drive into the United States too. So that's pretty awesome PR that's going to be going on, and my show Indigenous Superstars is being represented on these trucks. So it's 16 million times 3 trucks. So we're going to get a lot of PR, and so I'm really excited for the Indigenous Superstars and all the artists that have been on Indigenous Superstars so far. So that's my really exciting news that I have today. And I never even told anyone. I didn't even tell my sister what was going to happen today. I kept it a secret, and so that was one of my exciting news. So, like I said, I have what past guest that was on the show earlier. I believe he was like number 6 when I first started out, and I invited him to come back because my show has grown, and the shows get put on to a podcast. And the other exciting thing about the podcast was I received an email from hey Efrain, how's it going? Congrats, I'm excited for you. Thanks, Efrain. He's always tuning in when I have a musical guest, so I'm so happy that he's part of the audience. And my sister says subscribe and like on YouTube. And Rochelle Kelly says, I can't wait to be on your show sometime. That's so awesome. So my show number 66 is the awesome Delbert Anderson Trio. And I interviewed Delbert. Like I said, he was my 6th guest when I first started out. And I'm glad that he took a risk on me to be on the show because I was just starting out then. And it was a real strange time because that's when COVID first happened, and we were getting into new normals of staying home, social distance, or just like the music stopped. But it really didn't. We just had to think about new ways, new ways of sharing our music, and we found it through doing it through online concerts and streaming online. Hey, Purify. Yay, love them, love Delbert. Hey, Evercool. So I'm just gonna go on to read Delbert's bio. Formed by the Delbert Anderson Trio was formed by award-winning jazz trumpet player Delbert Anderson. The Delbert Anderson Trio is a cutting-edge jazz trio composed of Delbert Anderson on trumpet, Nicholas Lucero on drums, and Mike McLuhan on bass, representing Delbert's Navajo culture through melodies inspired by ancient songs of love and war. Its DDAT combines indigenous melodies with modern funk and jazz. We chat about their debut album entitled Manitou, which was recorded at the Tota Theater in Farmington, New Mexico. So please welcome Delbert and Nicholas. That's his name.
Oh, thanks, Rhonda. Thanks for
Sorry
having us.
about that, Nick. I always remember your last name because it's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, I always like traveling when I hear people pronounce it all cool, like Lucero. But I always sound horrible. So it's good to see you, Rhonda. Thank you.
Nice to see you, but I say it in the Cree accent.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, Annette Begay says, congratulations, Delbert Anderson and band. And my sister Janet is tuning in. She said, yay.
Hi, Janet.
So there's so much happened since we last talked.
Oh, there's a bunch of things that happened. I think I think the biggest changes we went through was we have a full-blown team now, 8 members, band and crew. Half of the crew focuses on media, film production, and we've just been getting help from everyone, it seems like, and everyone's really been focusing on, the adventures we're having, the progress we're making, and it's a really neat concept. But the whole team is really working for us right now, and we've been able to get into bigger markets, networking, and all sorts of things. We just finished 5 conferences this like in January and February. We've started more projects here in the U.S. and also in South Africa, and
Wow.
there are just a lot of things. As a band, we have 8 projects, but I think with the trio and with Dedat, we're also working with, I would say, 3 or 4 other projects. So I think altogether about 13, 14 projects going on right now that are all getting booked for 2022 and 23, and we are sort of set to come out with a pretty big year post COVID. So we just been so busy.
So it seems like for you, did COVID make you guys work harder and become more creative, or like what? Can you tell us about like how about why
Yeah.
you're so busy? Like, did you find COVID was a blessing for you in disguise?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was we found a pretty big silver lining right off the bat. I think this year we had so much stuff booked. We had all kinds of shows over the U.S. and Australia. We had a lot of stuff booked, and when all that kind of shut down, it really gave us an opportunity to get a lot of these projects that we had envisioned in the previous years off the ground. We've had lots of brainstorming ideas, and now with the addition of the team, we have the capability to do these larger scale projects. So for us, it was a matter of reviving some old projects, putting legs on some stuff, and then really the past few years we've managed to build this really amazing network of other musicians and artists that we've talked to and discussed, and things like playwriters and stuff. So really sitting down and putting all these moving pieces together to form some really cool, neat stuff has been like you said, a total blessing in disguise. These are all projects that have taken the last 6 months, 9 months to really put together and to schedule and to get all those parts and pieces lined out, and we would have never had the chance to do that if it had not been for COVID and not been for this kind of weird downtime. And then luckily, the other thing with the media team too is the bass music projects. The Delbert Anderson Trio and the Dedat have been really busy doing stuff like live streams. We have a headquarters that we're in now. We have a full media team, so we've been able to participate and do some wonderful live streams in addition to getting all this other projects off the ground. So we're still gigging as much as anybody can gig, in COVID times, but with the addition of all these other amazing projects.
That's so exciting. Can you tell us? Can you go into detail with several of the projects that you're doing?
Yeah, I should have made a list because I think the very first thing that we're known for, a lot of people know us for, is our performance. We have a Dedat performance, and that includes Christopher, Mike Bidta, Mike McLuhan, Nick, and I. And we just pretty much do our show. It's all original music. It's inspired by my Dene spinning songs, which are social songs. So usually the process of that is I simply bring in a melody that's inspired by those spinning songs, and Dedat creates around it, flips it upside down, inward, outward, and we really start, after we know the basis of the song, we then improvise and start to add in our own individual influences to the music. So that's it's really popular, and we just sort of call that our Dedat performance. The second thing that, I think it's the second most popular project that we have, is called the Dedat Suite. And Franklin Pylan, he's a friend, he's actually Lakota Sioux, a friend of mine that I met in Eastern New Mexico University. I believe he has a master's in composition and conducting, and he took 3 of the trio's original pieces and formatted them into symphonic band or concert band or wind symphony, pretty much any ensemble, and with Dedat. So Dedat would be sort of backed by an orchestra or symphony. And we've been booking that quite a bit this past year. We have places like Flint, Michigan coming up, the Whiting Theater, Sonoma State University, Eastern New Mexico University. That was our premiere. And so we have a lot of universities and also professional symphonies that are booking this suite. And it's 18 minutes long, but before that, we will, we sort of switch off, and the shows are usually sort of Native American, Indigenous tribute shows that these are all with. And so that's the Dedat suite, and it's been going really well. We also do education. In fact, every time we're booked, we always have an education gig or educational outreach. The cool thing about our educational project is we do have just your basic music fundamentals, history type teaching. But I think the other really cool part is sort of our wellness education, where we play in rehabs, women's shelters, detention centers, jails, and we actually, discuss and go into really, it's a little more personal, but we really talk with everyone there, and we communicate with music, and it's been really successful. And I think a lot of people are starting to notice, and every time we go to, like I said, have an engagement somewhere, we always have one of those bookings.
That's exciting. I just want to mention, I just released a song too that it got scored by a Canadian composer from Toronto. His name is Charles Cousins, and he how do you say, he made my song, he scored my song for a symphony, and I came across the site on online, and they're called Musiversal from the UK. So I contacted them, and I made arrangements to get my song recorded with the studio orchestra. So I didn't hear from them for a while, and I thought I got ripped off, but apparently I know, right? But because I spent all this money, and then they finally reached out back to me and said they were doing a restructuring in their company. So when they were doing that, the studio orchestra was no longer available. So they said they were going to upgrade me for free with the Prague Orchestra, and that was really fantastic. And the song turned out really beautiful, and it's doing really well on Spotify right now. It's getting some good play in Europe. Are you hearing that feedback?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know where that's
there we go.
Okay, there we go. So it's getting a lot of good play. It's getting good play in Australia, in Cyprus, and in UK, and we're doing really good in Spotify, like I said. So I'm really excited. So if you ever want to tour, I have 2 songs that are scored, and I'm working on a third one to be scored of my original music.
That'd be cool. We could do a whole Indigenous evening with symphonies. That's a great idea. We should absolutely coordinate on that afterwards. That'd be so fun.
That'd be great.
It would be.
If you need a trumpet player for the orchestra.
I'm sure there's a trumpet player on in my score. I'll go back and check it out.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is. So I'm really glad you shared that with me and with the audience. So can you tell us about the upcoming project? And did you say South Africa?
Yeah, that's really neat. That stems from another project. So I'll kind of explain the first project. Dedat recorded our second album in Frogville Studios in Santa Fe, and as part of that, we met Dan Kjorberly thanks to Music Works International. Delbert has a mentor named David Greenberg who introduced us to his boss that owns Music Works International. What's her name?
Catherine McVickers.
Catherine McVickers. And she introduced us to Dan Kjorbeli. Dan Kjorbeli's a really interesting guy. He plays percussion. He's a South African. He's toured all over the world. He works with Peter Gabriel, booking his WOMAD tour, that kind of stuff. And he was really looking for an artist sort of like us to work with. So he's helping co-produce our album with John Lindemann, who's a 2-time Grammy Award winner for working with Paul Simon and those folks in the Graceland time period. And as part of that, he's bringing in Phil Manzanera from Roxy Music and Pink Floyd and David Gilmour to be on some tracks of our second album. And there's discussions, so we're working on, that's the second Dad album. So in discussions with John and with Dan, we really started talking about the indigenous cultures and South African cultures, because they're in South Africa. So Dan had kind of thought of this idea, why don't we literally compare, the Dene tribe to the Dene people to these 4 different South African tribes and look at, the similarities from a musical standpoint. So we're going to get together with musicians from 4 of their tribes and ourselves, compose a whole nother album, and then do a documentary, and then fly down to South Africa for a few weeks and just get in the studio and create some new stuff with those folks. And then, tour it wherever we can and bring it up to the States and then to bring it up to South Africa. So we're really excited about that project.
Okay, you froze a little bit. We didn't get the last part.
What's that?
You kind of froze a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't hear the last part.
We're going to be in the studio for about 2 or 3 weeks with those South African musicians, making a whole new set of compositions that, really musically explore those 2 different cultures. And on top of that, we're going to build some educational workshops and kind of go into the academia side of it and look at the and kind of contrast and compare the cultures as a whole. So, we'll have some workshops, we'll have some lectures, we'll have the documentary that our filmographer Maurice Johnson is going to film, and then we'll have the album as a complete part of that. So we're really excited about that project.
Congratulations, that's so exciting. I just want to acknowledge some of the people tuning in. Felipe Rose, a former member of the Village People, he says, "Oh, nice, hi Felipe." And Defy is on, and Pure Face said that's an amazing project. So the audience is just giving a lot of feedback to while you guys are talking. So so please keep telling us more.
Yeah. So we have the other thing we're working on right now is called Spirit Coalescent, and it's definitely a community project that comes from New Mexico, Farmington area. 2 artists, Karen Ellsbury and Patrick Hazen. They're actually a married couple, but Patrick's a photographer and Karen is an artist. And they create these really cool fused paintings with a picture in the middle, and then they have abstract painting around it. And so they created eight of these paintings, which are 4 feet by 8 feet big canvases. So they're huge. Anyway, there's 8 of those, and the trio is going to compose music for each of the paintings. And we also have a choreographer named Mora Garcia, who's going to be, doing the choreography for it. And then poetry done by James Pacutas on that. So it's all a big collaboration that we're doing, and we actually just recently received a residency from our city, so the city of Farmington, and also the Farmington Civic Center. We're sort of doing a partnership with them, and they're going to help us develop this project and actually put it into a digital format. So, and that also has been booked into 2022 as well by I believe 2 or 3 different performing arts centers, and it's just a great project. All of these projects, by the way, have community engagements with them. For instance, for this project, for Spirit Coalescent, Patrick and Karen will go out before we perform at whatever place it is, and they're going to do this fusion painting and photo for the community, and the community gets to paint and pretty much create a whole nother project, just like we would do with the Spirit Coalescent. So it's really neat. It's many moving pieces, and it allows us to really combine the arts and find a more creative way to put everything together. Our next project is actually a musical that is called Natani, and we are actually waiting on a series of grants that we applied for development, although we are working on it still, despite whether we get the grants or not. And it should be coming out, I would say, sometime next year. It will be available for booking, but it's about sort of an Indigenous dancer who's who sort of is trying to make a decision whether to live in modern society or live in his traditional way of life. So he does that. There's a lot of dancing in it, a lot of fusion with break dancing, the music, and actually this whole musical was inspired by our album that we recorded called Born in an Odd Time. So usually musicals will be created and then the album comes, but this time Mike McLuhan had this idea of a storyline about this Indigenous character, and the storyline fit our album so great that when we were finished, we said, hey, we should just turn this into a musical. And so now we have a musical going, and I think we're going to go about it in a way where we have sort of three or four maybe set actors that know sort of the lead parts, and then we would work that into a workshop or a community engagement where we hire local actors to fill in the rest of the musical. But again, all the music was written by Dedat, and in fact, we are performing our whole album within the musical. So you get the show, the play. Actually, Nick and I wrote the script along with another fellow theater director, Desiree Henderson. So we just been working on it and working out the script.
That's so amazing, Delbert.
Yeah, it's going to be
so good. So exciting. Oh my goodness. There's also one thing I want to ask you about. You just recently won a grant, a $30,000 grant to do a jazz show.
Yeah, and that's the grant is from Chamber Music America, and it's called the Presenter Consortium for Jazz grant.
And before you go on, I want to mention that only 3 are granted out a year.
Yeah, it's actually 5.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
But that's for all of America, right?
Yeah, out of the entire country. So we're really excited.
I guess so. Congratulations. So much going on, so much exciting stuff. But please tell us about the grant.
Yeah, so we partner with 3 presenters, and those are our Farmington's own Northwest New Mexico Arts Council, Cortez, Colorado, the Cortez Cultural Center, and Gallup, New Mexico, Gallup Arts Organization. So those are our 3 presenters that we decided to partner with. At each venue, we showcase 3 artists, the same artists at each venue, and those artists are Dedat, just our group, and Julia Keefe Quartet. She's also a Native American vocalist, jazz vocalist, and also the Brad Good Quintet, featuring Ernie Watts. And actually, Rhonda, you remember Brad? I
remember Brad.
So he's
I remember you took us to the market, and we had mutton sandwiches, and he said it was the best sandwich he ever had.
right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Brad's a part of it, and Ernie Watts, of course, very big jazz giant. We actually got we're very lucky to meet him this past week. In fact, our whole film crew just finished recording the Brad Good Quintet at the Muse in Lafayette, Colorado. And it was amazing to hear such great musicians and live music for a change. It was totally mind-blowing. And we're just, the series, it's called the Blue Desert Virtual Tour. And it's going to happen April 3rd, April 10, and April 17 at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we're just going to showcase, broadcast live from Facebook, from the Blue Desert Virtual Tour Facebook page.
That's awesome. I'm going to make sure to watch that. I would love to see Brad play again. He's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and sort of the main purpose of this consortium was to really expose, the indigenous communities around our area to jazz music, and not only just the music, but the healing components that jazz has within it, like improvisation. We also have a lot of statements from wellness directors and programs that are going to be inserted into these videos, as well as jazz players from around the world that are going to sort of testify and tell our indigenous communities how to really get healing from the music itself. Because just like, in our African American history, the time of oppression, they use jazz music to actually keep on going with their everyday lives. And so that's like substance abuse and suicide and domestic violence going on right now that's very high in our area. We wanted to showcase these healing components to them, hoping that it will do the same for them and heal them during this oppressing time.
It's like your work with music as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar vein.
All right. That's so cool. So I'm gonna bring on your other band members, but are you gonna play a tune for us on your trumpet?
What's that? Oh,
I'm gonna bring on the other guys on.
Oh yeah, if you want.
Yeah, of course. The audience is probably waiting for it.
My new keys.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna give you the screen. love that. So before I bring on your other band members, I just want to let the viewers know that we met through Facebook. You reached out to me and said, let's collaborate. I'll bring you to my community, and you wanted me to bring you to my community, and we did. We actually did do that, right? You came to my community, and we did Music is Medicine, and then I went to your community actually more than once. You
Yeah.
invited me for a jazz festival, and I did a tour out there. So that's how we met, and we became really good friends. You guys are my brothers, and I'm so glad that we met and we kept in touch. And it's great to see you guys. Like, your musicianship has grown so much since I first met you, and your careers is exploding into the whole world, and it's so exciting. So exciting. So I'm gonna bring in your other bandmates here.
Gee,
Maurice?
Maurice.
Okay, I'm trying to unmute them. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Okay, you want to introduce your bandmates?
Jude.
Jude.
Yeah, sure. I'll just start in the order that I see him on the screen. I see
I play
Gerardo
sax.
Diaz. Gerardo is actually a pretty good percussionist and drummer and musician himself, and joined the band as an intern a while ago, and has since become, director of operations and like drum tech, and helps us do everything we got going on. He's a strong back, a hard worker, and just an invaluable member of the team that we all love traveling with. And next on the circle that I see is Maurice Johnson, who has been an absolute blessing to find. One of our other members, Carlos, knew Maurice from previous projects. And Maurice is the reason that we look as cool as we do, because he's a fantastic photographer, and his passion lies in film. And all the cool videos that you see come out from us, and all the high quality zooms that we do when we do like the news interviews and that kind of stuff, are all thanks to Maurice. So Maurice works just as hard, if not harder, than we do to get a lot of these projects to come to life and pop. So Maurice is a blast to travel with, and just like a friend till the end. So he's fantastic. Jude, Mr. Jude, our sound extraordinaire. He owns an amazing gallery in Gallup. It's
Flux Tifa.
Flux Tifa Works, and he's just a fantastic artist. And Defy hooked that up, and we went to perform at his gallery, and it was the funniest thing. We set up and sound checked in like 20 minutes and did a live stream, and it was probably one of the best sounding live streams we've ever done. So we knew right off the bat that Jude was incredibly talented, and what we found out later was he was an actual trained sound engineer, in addition to being this amazing artist. So Jude is a blessing to travel with, and a fantastic addition to the team, and makes us sound good. So yeah, and then I think that's everyone that's on the call right now, but we also have Carlos Martinez, who is again started out as an intern, but has been a friend and a blessing, and helped develop the website and helped keeps us on track, and shot some music videos for Defy, and helps do all of our videography as well, and just sort of does everything. He just elevates the whole band and gives us a platform to do all these amazing things as well. So I think he was on the call earlier. I don't know if he's on there now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna ask all your bandmates how they got hooked up with you. First, I'm gonna ask Gerardo.
Yes, hello. Nice to meet you, Rhonda, finally.
I used to date a guy named Gerardo.
Hey.
Say that name.
Flashbacks. Just kidding.
So how did you meet Delbert and Nicholas? How did that
So
collaboration start?
funny enough, Delbert actually was an educator at the first college I went to at San Juan, and I kind of got hooked up through him through the music program. because I played drums for the jazz band one semester, and he was the instructor, so that's how I met Delbert. But for the dad, I met him through an internship that actually took my last semester at Highlands University. So I found the internship online and I applied, and they got back to me and they got me on. So that's how I joined the team. And so far, it's been a blast. It's been about a year now, so no regrets.
I guess not. The band is just like going crazy. It's just like exploding, and so much exciting things is happening for the band. And I'm really excited to see all your projects come into fruition. And it's just so exciting, and it's very nice to meet you. And Maurice, can you tell us how you got how did you end up collaborating with Delbert and Nicholas? And
Yes.
Bye.
All right. First, I want to say hello, Rhonda. It's nice to finally
Hi.
meet you. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
I first met Delbert and Nicholas because our the intern Carlos Martinez recommended me as a videographer to help them shoot a musical series called Heart Space Live, and that's how we got connected, and we've been working together ever since. And I'm very super honored and super blessed to be working with them, and I get to work with all these amazing other people, and I'm just super happy. That's basically how it started.
That's awesome. So awesome. And and Jude, how did you end up collaborating with Delbert and Nicholas? Oh, I think he's on mute. Hold on here.
Hello, hello. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
We can hear you. So
Okay, cool.
can you tell us how you ended up collaborating with Delbert and Nicholas?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like Nicholas was saying. I've worked with Defy for years here in Gallup. I've been in the scene here, the music scene here since I got in it. So yeah, I invited him over to my gallery as I do monthly music guests at Flux Two Forks, and they came in, and I'm glad they liked what they saw, and they hit me up a few months later and offered me the position as their sound guy, and of course I took it. It's been awesome. I work with a bunch of professionals here, and I couldn't ask for anything more as a sound engineer. These guys are awesome.
That's awesome. All you guys sound awesome. I can't wait to hear you guys perform all together. Is that what you want to do, Delbert? Are you guys wanting to perform all together? Are you up for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I gotta see what we gotta perform with you too, Rhonda. We gotta see what you can do with your vocals.
Oh my God, what are you going to perform?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to play? I might have to Google the lyrics.
We'll find it. Remember, you used to do it at last with us. That was good.
Oh, I could do it last.
Ooh,
Yeah.
do that. I want to hear it.
I'm still going to Google the lyrics. You want to do it last?
Teresa Esquire.
Oh, right now?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I don't. Do we all have the trumpet?
Well, hey.
We'll let Delbert and you do a duet there.
You want to do it last? Can you do it on trumpet?
I think so.
Do it.
I'll just follow you
At last?
if you want.
Okay, let me find some background music here.
I thought you were talking about like later on. I know you meant that.
We could do it live if you want. Later on. But it's up to you. If you don't want to, that's fine.
We'll do it later. We'll save it for later.
For after the show, or you want to jam after the show? My sister says you're all funny.
You're all silly.
But did you guys want to try a song when would you be up for that?
Oh,
I don't. All we
It's-
have is trumpet right now.
okay,
Oh, there you go.
that's fine then.
Beatbox.
We'll do, we'll do, we'll do an offline jam after.
yeah.
I'll do the Defi's part. She.
Right.
But
Hi,
it's so
Defy, if you're watching. Sorry.
it's so awesome that I got to meet you all. I hope I can perform at your gallery one time when I'm ever in the area, Jude.
Anytime you're in the area, let me know and we will make it happen.
I would love to perform there. I'm
Yeah.
sure Delbert will invite me back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, COVID will be over soon and the numbers are going down. Teresa says, all yous are the do-up girls, eh?
Do wap, do wap. I'm down.
Gerardo's taking the highs.
Yeah. I'll do the lows.
I always do.
Yeah.
I'm not warmed up though.
So it was really wonderful to meet all of you, and I'm so glad Delbert wanted all of us to be a part of the show, and looking forward to watching you online with all your new exciting performances and online gigs. And Defy just joined us, so I gotta add him on here. So he could probably do a show for us. You wanna do a song for us, Defy?
Yeah, I'm down
Oh,
to kick a
snap.
verse. Can you hear me?
Ooh.
I can hear you.
Okay, mic check 1 2. Thanks,
Yep,
for,
I can
thanks
hear
for tuning in. We live. All right. Yo. A rebel without a pause treads softly on desert sand. He reps his clan, treasures fam, and respects the land. Wears a headband, happy as a pleasant man. Legend goes, historian falls with a special plan. He learned the English language from a second hand, spoke a native tongue till he had sung one with the drum till his lungs became numb from the blessing chant. Stood up, fought for his people, and he never ran. Yo, we did that and Defy coming true with sound. I'm gonna represent right here for the Billiganas and Munials, the tribe people. All of the time I shine like a fly eagle. Hey, shout out to the Munials out there. I just say that word Munial because that's the one word that Rhonda taught me. And that Munial is like the equivalent to us saying Billiganas. And that's kind of like refers to like the non-tribal ones. But so I had to throw that word Muniao in there.
I can't believe you still remember that.
I just remember like when you came down here, that little like cultural exchange we kind of had because it was like very quick. But yeah, I remember you telling me that and we got a kick out of that just because it was a little inside joke,
When he started rapping it, I wonder if he's gonna say Munya.
Y'all, I didn't hear nothing except the word Muniao. Just kidding. But Rhonda and I actually have collaborated too on a song before. So it's actually a hip hop song we have together featuring our buddy Hellenback, our brother. Shout out to Hellenback. And I love Rhonda's part on there. It's amazing. So hopefully we could collab sometime together. Rhonda head and do that.
For sure. I would love to. I'm open up for collaborations with anyone. I'm just since I started doing this show, like everyone wants to collaborate, and I can't wait for COVID to be over. But I have been doing some collaboration through digitally. So that's the good thing about the internet and the digital world and COVID. I guess like we're saying, like for some people, COVID has been a blessing, and I know it's keeping me very, very busy and thinking outside the box. And that's what you guys are doing. You're doing a wonderful job, and it's so exciting to hear all the projects that you're involved in, and I can't wait to see your online shows and your collaboration with musicians in South Africa. That sounds so amazing, and I can't wait to hear the melodies, and because it's going to come from the heart of Turtle Island and the heart of South Africa. So it's going to be, it's the blending of the Turtle music. It's going to sound so beautiful, and it's probably going to be spiritual. So I can't wait to hear that finished product. So I'm so proud of you guys, and um, I'm real, like I said, I'm so happy you all came on to my show, and you're my 66th guest. So it's not going to
Whoa.
stop. It's going to keep on going. Lots and lots of other Indigenous artists, Indigenous superstar artists to interview. And I was gonna wait. I'm gonna announce it right now, and I was gonna wait till I have the press release done, and I'm working on the radio ads right now. But I'm working on a music award show. It's called the Indigenous Superstars Music Award Show, and because of all my musician friends that are involved in all different genres, there's 24 categories, and jazz and blues is one category, and there's also hip hop. So it's really exciting, and I'm going to be announcing it probably within the next, like formally within the next 2 weeks. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to encourage all my musician friends, Indigenous musician friends, to and colleagues and brothers and sisters to submit. So it's going to be really a great platform to showcase your music, and I'm going to be trying to get to work on to partner with other music industry people, so I could try and promote the music as much as I can. Like I know a lot of award shows, you just get an award and then that's it. Like I want it to be more for the artists to get their music out there, not only for to be on the award show, but to continue to promote our music, and so we have a platform. Because as Indigenous artists, I know that we don't have much of a platform to showcase our music, and so that's what one of the projects that I'm working on. So I just encourage all the artists to submit, and I'm really excited because I'm so proud of all our Indigenous musicians like you guys. You're doing such a great work in your genre, and the jazz genre and the hip hop genre. So that's my announcement. I wasn't going to say it right away, but you
Yes.
just got me all excited and inspired. So that's what I'm up to.
Very cool.
Nice.
Whoa, Slay
Awesome.
Rhonda. Woo!
Hey.
Yes.
Thank you, Rhonda, for looking out for everybody. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. So do you have any parting words you want to say?
I think, just check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us at D.Live. You can look at the website, D.live.com, and keep an eye out for all the different stuff we have coming up. There's the Blue Desert Virtual Tour, and then all of our other projects. Just keep an eye out for those booking dates, and we'll make sure and share everything we're doing online. So thank you, Rhonda. It's good to talk to you again.
Yeah,
Thank you,
it's great.
Rhonda.
Thank you. It's good to see you, Defy, and it's great to meet you,
Oh,
Gerardo,
Thank
Maurice,
you.
and Jude.
teach me a new word real quick before we go.
Yes.
Let me see. What could I say? Kitam kewap mitten.
Oh, what? What does that mean?
Kitam
Kitom,
kewap
kewa,
mitten.
metin.
That means I shall see you again. I will see you again.
I
Aw.
will see you again. Could I hear it one more time? I need to remember this one.
Kitam kewap mitten.
Kitam, watam, watin. Ah,
Kitam. I'll send you a
okay.
message through Facebook so you can and with the phonetics.
Okay, I need to learn some new words. So thank you,
See you
Rhonda.
again. I will see you again.
All right, I'll see you again. Love you. And shout out to all Indigenous superstars worldwide across Turtle Island. Be back.
Kesakitin, that means I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
Ayo inishne. That's what it means for us too. That's the I love you
Awesome.
very much.
Right
Shit
on.
buddies.
Yeah.
Ship
Thank you
buddies.
again for being part of the show.
Thank you.
Tune in again next time when Rhonda interviews another up-and-coming Indigenous superstar. Only on Indigenous Superstar.